So I like to begin by gathering tons of reference images online of Yoda and storing it into a program called PureRef. And it's a free application and allows you to store as many photos as you want without losing resolution. And I'll leave a link in the description to this. Then once inside Blender, I like to use the default cube or a regular cube and just add subdivisions to it. So once I start to enter sculpt mode, it's a lot easier to manipulate the forms at the lowest level. Then I'll add a little bit more resolution, but still keeping it relatively low so I can start to get those base shapes and forms that make up the anatomy of the skull of Yoda. And also keeping in mind that Yoda head isn't the regular head of a human, so knowing the human anatomy helps out and it helps you gather those underlying forms. And at this level, I'm not focusing on major details, I'm just trying to get the proportions bumped out. So the eye shape, size, the nose size, and basically where everything is relative to each other. And then once I get this section done, I always like to append a couple more cubes or basically spheres, but I like to use the cubes with the subdivisions because they're easy to move around. So I'll add a mirror modifier so it copies it to the opposite end. Then I'll start getting the basic block out of the ears. And once the basic block out is complete, I'll then add the concave sections of the ear to indicate and add more realism to it, but still keeping it relatively low. And once I'm satisfied, I'll then merge the ear to the face and then start adding a little bit more detail to the face, but still keeping everything relatively low resolution. I'm basically just making it look a little bit more like Yoda. So what that means is just adding more realism to it. Those bumps on the head, mixing those match, adding more build up to the ears and all around. Then I'll append a sphere and add a mirror modifier. Then I'll go into edit mode, chop it in half, and then add a solidify to add some thickness for the eyelids. And then I'll manipulate that with proportional editing. And I show this method in all my other videos, so you guys want to see that, I'll link a link in the description to one of my previous videos where I talk in depth with that. And once the eyelids are complete, we'll add spheres for eyeballs, and then we'll turn on shade smooth and add a mirror modifier to copy it to the opposite side. And then I'll merge the head to the eyelids, excluding the eyeballs, and then I'll work on the proportions. And proportions are the most important. They can make or break your model. The wrong proportions can turn Yoda to Gizmo in a matter of seconds, and that's what you don't want. So that's why we have tons and tons of reference. And at this point, we can start capitalizing on some of the prominent features like the ears and making sure the scale matches the reference, because you know, this can make Yoda's age vary depending on the size and scale of the thing, like the eyeballs. For instance, if they were smaller, he would look a lot older. And that's why you see with stylized art, for children, they usually have the eyes being a lot bigger. Just think about the scale of a whale. Whales have tiny eyes, but they have big bodies, and that usually indicates that they're really large in scale. And one thing I like to do is change the material every once in a while to get a better representation of how your model actually looks, because depending on the material that's applied to it, it may hide certain sections like the concave areas, you know, the convex areas. So just keep that in mind, guys. And I'm just adding more detail at this section. And once I'm done doing the final touches with the face, I'll start working on clothing. Now, to tackle the clothing, I usually use a primitive shape that generally matches the silhouette. So I'll use a sphere and I'll lower the resolution and delete the faces that I don't need. Then I delete one more face in the middle for the nice opening. Then I'll turn on proportional editing and move some of the vertices to manipulate the shape. And then we need to add thickness, so I'll add a solidify modifier and add supporting edge loops to hold the shape once I add subdivisions to it. Then I'll just duplicate this, rotate it around to create more depth and sell an illusion that there's a lot more going on than there actually is. And that's part of being an artist, is knowing how to make something more believable. Like for instance, this body, after I'm done working on the scarf, I know that this isn't going to be animatable, so I'm not going to worry about making an actual body and arms, so I just make it look like there's something going on underneath. Then I start working on the pod, and that's just a giant sphere, you know, cut in half and then rotate it to look like a Pokeball basically. And then I'll just add, you know, a solidifier modifier to add thickness to that, you know, and then add supporting edge loops and add a subdivision surface. And once that's complete, I'll just offset the bottom base and then start to work on lighting. So from the camera, I'll start to import a spotlight, and then I'll have an area light. So I'm just going to set up a 2-point lighting system. One going to be on the left top area, and one is going to be shining on the face, because I don't need the 3-point because he's inside of a pod, so I don't need anything coming from the rear. So once that's done, I need to start figuring out how I want to shade this. So I'm not going to actually texture it in Substance Painter or Blender, so I'll just add a nice base material to it. And then I also need to have some translucency with the ears and the skin, so I'll add a subsurface scatter, and that just allows light to pass through, like the back of your ear, like when you have a flashlight, or if you're holding your finger over a flashlight, it does that same effect. Then I'm changing the color of the light system to blend in with the translucency of the skin material. This is really fun. This is like one of the best parts about doing this whole entire project, is setting up the lighting and watching how colors interact with each other. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, share it. It helps the channel grow. And if you guys want access to this project, it will be on my Patreon, available for you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.